Formula One drivers have reportedly revealed something after the Hungarian Grand Prix that could change the entire grid. The first clues appeared on July 26, 2026 through Formula One and the Cadillac Formula One team, but the source leaves out the one detail that matters most. What did the drivers actually reveal? No names, no direct quotes, no confirmed announcement, and no explanation of why Cadillac appears beside one of the biggest post-race claims of the season. That missing information creates three explosive possibilities. A major driver move, a decision that could trigger a chain reaction across the grid, or a revelation after Hungary that teams were never supposed to hear this early. Because one driver changing direction does not affect only one seat. It can force rival teams to act, destroy negotiations already taking place, and leave another driver without a future almost overnight. And the most important clue may not be what was announced. It may be why it happened immediately after Hungary. Subscribe to the channel. To understand why this could matter, you have to look at the timing. The available source points to July 26, 2026, and connects the story to both Formula One and the Cadillac Formula One team. But it does not include the actual announcement, the names of the drivers involved, or any confirmed explanation of what changed after Hungary. That means the headline gives us a promise. The evidence gives us a mystery. And in Formula One, timing is rarely meaningless. The hours after a Grand Prix are when private pressure becomes public. Drivers step out of the car carrying everything that happened during the race. Every mistake, every instruction, every moment of frustration, every doubt about the future. Most of the time, those feelings remain controlled. A driver gives a careful answer. A team protects its image. A manager avoids saying too much. Then the paddock moves on. But sometimes, one comment changes the direction of the entire conversation. A driver refuses to confirm his future. Another speaks openly about a new project. A team gives an answer that sounds simple, but leaves one important door open. And suddenly, the result of the race is no longer the biggest story. The future is. That may be why the Cadillac reference matters so much. Not because the source confirms that Cadillac signed anyone. It does not. Not because it proves that a current driver is leaving his team. It proves nothing of the kind. But Cadillac represents something the Formula One grid almost never receives. A new opportunity. Seats in Formula One are limited. Every driver knows it. Every manager knows it. And every team uses that scarcity during negotiations. A driver may be talented enough to remain in the sport, but talent alone does not guarantee a place. Timing matters. Contracts matter. Politics matter. And sometimes, one unexpected opening can save a career, revive a career, or completely redirect one. Imagine a row of chairs where almost every seat is occupied. One chair becomes available. Immediately, people begin moving. Someone who appeared secure starts asking questions. Someone who seemed trapped suddenly has leverage. Someone waiting outside finally sees a way in. That is what a new team can do to the driver market. It does not only create its own lineup, it can destabilize every lineup around it. And this is where the Hungarian Grand Prix becomes a possible turning point. A race weekend can reveal much more than pace. It can reveal confidence. It can reveal patience. It can reveal whether a driver still believes in the project around him. One difficult weekend does not decide a future. But one difficult weekend can confirm a feeling that has been building for months. A driver may already be questioning the direction of the car. A team may already be considering another option. A manager may already be speaking with rivals. Then Hungary happens. The tension becomes visible. The answers become shorter. The body language changes. And a private possibility begins to feel real. Again, none of that is confirmed by the source. But it explains why an announcement immediately after a Grand Prix would carry so much weight. Because these decisions are rarely made in one afternoon. They are prepared slowly. One conversation at a time. One disappointing result at a time. One promise that was kept or broken at a time. The public announcement is often the final step, not the first. And that is why the missing words matter more than the dramatic headline. What exactly did the drivers say? Did one of them confirm a future move? Did several drivers speak about the same issue? Did Cadillac release information connected to its plans? Or did Formula One publish something that changed how the grid would be understood? The attached source does not answer any of those questions. And without those answers, every conclusion has to remain open. But here is what can be said with certainty. If a genuine driver announcement involved Cadillac, the impact could spread far beyond one team. An experienced driver might see a chance to become the foundation of a new project. A younger driver might see the opportunity of a lifetime. A current team might realize that someone it expected to retain now has another option. And another driver could suddenly face pressure without doing anything wrong. That is how the market works. One move creates another, then another. A seat does not simply become occupied. It changes the value of every remaining seat. Suppose an experienced driver joins a new project. Now another team needs a replacement. That replacement may come from a rival. The rival then needs its own replacement. And within days, a decision involving one person can affect half the grid. That is why teams watch announcements so closely. Not because every driver is available, because every movement changes what is possible. And possibility creates urgency. A team that wanted to wait may no longer have that luxury. A driver who believed he had several options may discover that one has disappeared. A manager may push for a faster decision. A contract negotiation may suddenly become more aggressive. The first announcement is only the beginning. The chain reaction is the real story. But there is another possibility that cannot be ignored. The drivers may not have revealed anything about contracts at all. The announcement could have concerned safety, rules, racing standards, or a shared concern after the Hungarian Grand Prix. The source does not specify the subject, and that creates a completely different path. Because when drivers speak together, the meaning changes. One driver can be dismissed as emotional. Several drivers raising the same concern become much harder to ignore. They compete against each other. They represent different teams. Their interests are rarely identical. So when their voices align, Formula One listens. A joint statement can pressure officials. It can force new discussions. It can expose a problem that had been handled privately until that moment. And it can make the next race feel different before the cars even arrive. That is why the exact announcement is essential. A driver market move changes careers. A collective statement can change the sport itself. Both would fit the dramatic framing. Only one can be true. And right now, the source does not tell us which one. That uncertainty is not a small problem. It is the center of the story. Because dramatic Formula One headlines often spread faster than verified information. A team name appears. A date appears. A major claim appears. Then the audience fills the gaps. One person assumes a signing. Another assumes a retirement. Someone else believes a dispute has exploded. Within hours, speculation begins to sound like confirmation. But repetition does not create evidence. A rumor repeated 1,000 times is still a rumor. And that is why the next detail matters so much. If the announcement was real, there should be a direct statement. A driver's words. A team release. A Formula One report. Something that clearly explains what changed after Hungary. Without that, the headline remains powerful but incomplete. And perhaps that is the most important clue of all. The real revelation may not be the first dramatic claim. It may be the exact wording hidden behind it. Because one sentence can separate a major grid change from an exaggerated rumor. One name can reveal whether Cadillac is truly connected. One confirmation can turn speculation into fact. And until that appears, every team, every driver, and every fan is left asking the same question. What happened after Hungary that Formula One was not ready to explain clearly? And this is where the pressure moves away from the headline and onto the people who would actually have to respond. Because if the announcement was connected to the future grid, teams could no longer treat Cadillac as a distant idea. They would have to treat it as competition. Competition for drivers. Competition for engineers. Competition for attention. And possibly, competition for the experienced leadership that can accelerate a new project before it ever reaches the starting grid. But the attached source does not confirm that a driver signed for Cadillac. It does not name a candidate. It does not provide a contract length. It does not reveal a salary, a release clause, or an official team statement. Those details are missing. So, the important question is not who has already moved. The important question is who suddenly has more power because another option may exist. That difference changes everything. A driver does not need to sign with another team to influence negotiations. He only needs a believable alternative. The moment a current team believes its driver could leave, the conversation changes. Promises become more urgent. Contract discussions become more serious. Development concerns become harder to dismiss. And questions that were delayed for months suddenly require answers. Is the team moving in the right direction? Will the car become competitive? Does the driver still believe in the people around him? And does the team believe the driver is still fully committed? Those are difficult questions inside any Formula One organization. After Hungary, they may become impossible to avoid. Because the Hungarian Grand Prix can expose weaknesses that do not always appear clearly on faster circuits. The corners arrive in connected sequences. The driver needs confidence. The car must respond consistently. And when that relationship breaks down, the frustration can build through the entire lap. A driver may finish the race without a dramatic failure. The experience can still reveal something serious. The car may not suit him. The development path may not be working. The communication may be failing. Or the driver may simply believe the project cannot deliver what was promised. None of those conclusions are confirmed in the source. But they explain why the period after Hungary can become so important. The race may not create the decision. It may confirm it. And confirmation is often the moment when private doubts become public action. But there is another side to this. A new project also has to convince drivers that it is more than a name. Formula One is unforgiving. Reputation helps. Resources help. Ambition helps. But none of those things guarantee performance. A driver considering a new team would need to understand what is being built behind the scenes. Who is leading the project? How strong is the technical structure? What is the long-term plan? How quickly can the team develop? And how much patience will be required before the results begin to arrive? Those questions matter because a Formula One career is short. A driver cannot recover every lost season. One wrong move can place him at the back of the grid during the most important years of his career. One correct move can transform his reputation. That is why choosing a new project is not simply brave. It is dangerous. The driver may become the leader of something historic, or he may become the face of a struggle he cannot control. And this is where experience becomes both an advantage and a burden. An experienced driver can guide development. He can identify problems. He can explain what the car needs. He can help a new team understand how a race weekend really works.